today's weekly training is actually going to be the two step formula to get to consistency and confidence. And the reason why I chose this topic for this week is literally based on the feedback and the conversation I have during the week with everybody out there. So either my followers on Instagram, or you people in this amazing group, or my clients, or people I just interact online and offline with. And I love to learn what people's challenges are when it comes to their mental and physical health, because that helps me become a better coach and empowers me to find the best solutions that work for you too, right? And one thing is, I've been most likely where you are because this is what I've been building everything on top of. My own personal experience and me going through my transition, my medical history, my challenges with anxiety and depression and bipolar disorder coming out of that, and literally just like my personal life, right? So everything that I share, I know resonates with a lot of people because I had a lot of those conversations that lead me to think I'm not the only one. We're all human and we share a lot of those things in this community. So that is kind of like how I am able to connect with people on a deeper level, and then why through the vulnerability that I both share and I allow people to share with me, I create that trust, and then we can go do the deeper work that then results in actual permanent life-changing results and achievements, right? So today we are talking about confidence and consistency. And really what I want to share is very quickly a two-step formula that I know is not very much talked about in the industry, whether that's the fitness industry or the coaching industry or just the well-being industry, or even like therapeutic yeah industries. I don't know if that's a thing, therapy industry. But my point here being, I know what helped me make major leaps in my own personal journey, and what I see clicks and really helps my clients, has been helping my clients through these all the years of coaching them. And at the end of the day, what I came to understand is, again, there is not one answer for everybody, and that is why my coaching program is highly personalized. Still, I haven't gone into cookie cutter solutions, one solution fits all kind of things, apps, and here's a workout plan, is there a diet plan, you go do it, I'll check in with you once a week and you're good to go. Those things might work for some people, but I know from my experience, most people do need a lot more of that. And usually that's accountability, usually that's support, and most of all is an approach that really encapsulates and sees the person, not just for in that aspect, might be the mental health or the physical health, but as a whole being with a whole complicated human life. And if we do not address every aspect of it without overwhelming the person, but if we don't take into consideration every other thing, might be what kind of family situation, what kind of childhood, how your sleep is, what traumas, what abilities or disabilities or strengths or limiting beliefs. Like if we don't see the whole person, it's very tough then to go address their actual problems, the actual roadblocks to get you to the results you want. So you might be here thinking, well, sounds great, it's just a two-step formula, so that must be easy. I love easy things, I love quick fixes, and I am a believer that change can be instant. I often tell people, if we talk together and you have one realization, sometimes that one realization can be that change that you're looking for, because everything else comes snowballing after that. And sometimes making a stance, like literally having, line in the sand, this is my moment of change, can be that powerful and change does not need to be complicated and long and needing years of therapy and medication and all that. It can be quite instant for some people. And then what is required to keep that change up is a whole bunch of different things that we're gonna get very shortly into. And that is that consistency, right? How to keep that up and how to understand that we need to keep evolving. And to be able to grow and evolve, we need to take care of ourselves and understand what is actually working for us as a person. What is working for you as a person? Not for everybody else, not for me, not for your coach, not for your mentor, not for your therapist, not for like the things on paper, but really truly for you. Like, what is your personal success formula? And that's what I help my clients try and go find, and we build that together. So I always say I base my approach on something called SMASH. And the SMASH approach that I use is basically systems. S stands for systems. So we have a roadmap. We know how to get from A to B to B to C up to Z and all, like all the letters. All right. We do have a roadmap. We know where we're going and what to do at each step of the way, and whatever comes up, we know how to handle it. So we have systems, we have tools, we have the practical stuff, we have the right workout plan that works for you. That is built on your needs, on your equipment. We have all those practical, technical things. Same thing for diet, or nutrition, or your sleep, right? But then we need to have the M, that is mindset, and that is all the limiting beliefs, all the things that you've learned about yourself, and you might need to be unlearning, or you might be questioning. Is it true that I am lazy? I've been telling myself, I'm not meant for this, or I've been telling myself this is way out of my league, or I've been telling myself change requires time, that I'm not ready, that I don't have the money, that I don't have the resources to invest in myself. Is that true? So question yourself, looking at what are your patterns, your negative or limiting patterns that you're experiencing in your daily life and that come up in all different areas of your life. So not only when it comes to consistency in fitness with your workouts of movement, but also with your relationship with food, or your actual relationship like social relationships, whether with your partners or your kids or your friends, your family, right? So mindset is a huge part of how I approach things, because it has literally been the thing that made a whole difference to my personal journey. I went from, I need to train my body to look a certain way, to feel a certain way. But once I understood why they say, mindset is 90% of the game and 10% is just the technicalities, at some point I got it and I understood what they mean. And now I give that to people, and that is truly life-changing. So mindset is very important to me, and I know if you go and check out my post from yesterday on my Facebook, you can see why my clients are feeling the same. And just by mindset shifts and identity shifting, we can truly build something that is for the long term, that is permanent, that is very deep in us. And that's not gonna, be a quick fix, but it's gonna be so powerful for you. And it's gonna be empowering you, which is even better in my world. Then we have A, that stands for accountability, right? We know if I could do this alone, you can get fit by yourself. You can, stick to a diet. You can go do the workouts. You can have a community that supports you. You can have all those things. I'm sure you can reach a lot of goals, but we all know it just feels quicker, better, like a deeper experience, an uplifting experience, an empowering experience if we do that together, if we have someone that holds us accountable, right? Because we might be motivated for a certain period of time, but what happens is that we yo-yo in this motivation, right? So we might have moments where we're up high in motivation, we do all the right things, then we fall back down. And both in the moments where we're way too high and the moments where we fall back to our standards, if we haven't set high standard for ourselves, if we fall back down, those are the moments where having someone that lovingly and supportingly helps you keep those standards up, those little tiny daily things up. That is what accountability is there for. And again, that's literally the reason why I know the power having a mentor, having a coach, someone that stands right there with you and teaches you. And that's why I invest myself in coaching. And I literally have not had a coach for the past 4 or 5 years. I always have someone because I need to hold myself accountable, and also I know I can get there myself, but I know the power of having like a community and making those leaps is just going to be easier. Then we go to the other S, that is support. So we all, like, I don't need to go a lot like long about this. We know when someone supports us with love and care and wants, like, their intention is to see us win big, no matter how we behave, without judgment, we're gonna perform. We're gonna feel great about it, about the process, about ourselves. We're gonna build in a much better environment, and that's why we need support. We all need it. And if you think you do not, that's good for you, but I don't think that is actually true. I know I need it, and sometimes it hits you like, oh wow, I do need help, or I do need support. I need a hug. I need, I need to be called out on my own stuff, right? That can be painful, but that's why we're here to learn and grow. And then we have H, that is literally one of the keys in my approach and what I see helps clients the best. That is holistic, like having a holistic approach. I know a lot of people that have come to me, have been to therapy, different kind of like nutritionists or dietologists, or like all kind of different experts, and that is great because that means you care about yourself. You seek out that help. You do anything in your power to become a better version of yourself, feel good about yourself, and that's just amazing. I'm all for that, and I'm never gonna stop promoting that we do need to take care of ourselves. But I also know that all of those things, why I see them failing, quote unquote failing, in the long term and for certain goals in your life, is that they just look at one area and one only, and then you need to find the other areas and put them together on your own. While if you take a holistic approach and you look, hey, how does my low self-esteem impacts my diet, impacts my relationship with food, impacts then my workout, impacts then my consistency, impacts my mood, and it's all connected. It's all connected. What meds you're taking, what food you're eating, how you're thinking, how you're telling yourself things, how you're communicating with others, what kind of relationships you have. It's all you. It's your influence being literally projected, you navigate in this world. And if we don't look at the whole person, it's going to be very difficult for you to then identify what is actually holding you back. Because a food problem or like a diet problem might not have anything to do with food or stress. It might be something totally subconscious that we forgot about or didn't realize was there, and it has something to do with money. I've seen that, like people being, my clients going into coaching calls and then having huge realizations, seeing, oh wow, the reason why I wasn't consistent, or the reason why I kind of self-sabotage when I get to this point, has nothing to do with me being lazy or me not being able to follow workout plans or me getting bored of working out. It's a completely different story. And that is why we need to dig into these things. So the two-step formula that I find works the best to really go back to, again, why confidence and consistency? Because without those two are the two buzzwords that I hear a lot. I lack motivation, I lack consistency, I'm not confident enough, and I wish I would get there to being confident. And that is, to bring you here, I need to speak your language. I need to connect with you. And again, I've been there. So I know, I feel these things. I felt those things. And the two-step formula that works the best is basically outside in, inside out. So we have step one and step two. Again, it's a holistic approach, so they're interconnected. There is step one cannot exist without step two, and step two will feed off step one, which feed off step two. All right. So it's a system. All right. And you have outside in, meaning tools, taking action, having systems, having a support system around you of daily routines and daily habits, taking that imperfect action every day, showing up every day, learning how to show up. Sometimes they're going to show up 100%, sometimes at 80%, sometimes at 50%, sometimes they're going to show up at 0.1%, but you're still intentionally showing up. If you can do that over a long period of time, you're taking that massive imperfect action, right? With intensity, focus, intentionality, you won the game. And I'm not even kidding. People come to me and then after a while they said, oh, I've tried all these diets, I've tried all these workouts, I've tried all this stuff. And then they expect the program to take a lot of their time, a lot of their effort, and to be very tough. When if you have the right systems and you know how to implement the right strategies for you, then it really becomes easy. It becomes like a game. And that's why you're going to keep consistent, because you're going to understand, hey, that's what is going on with me. And oh, I actually remember that, I have the power to change that. And I actually can rely on someone, leading the way and showing me the ways, and having a supportive community. And that really just makes it easier, right? So it's not a struggle anymore. You need to put in the hard work. Of course, you need to do the thing, but you can also relax and letting go of all that struggle or fight or having to get to somewhere. All right. So outside in means you take all the actions and the things that are outside, right? You put things into practice, and that is going to form your identity. Because again, you want to get to a point where you can trust yourself. And trusting yourself means you need to show yourself you're taking certain actions daily or monthly or weekly. You're doing certain stuff. You don't trust somebody just because they say, I love you. You're going to trust them after they broke your trust, let's say. You're going to trust them again when they show you day after day with deeds, with actions, that they can be trusted again. Okay, the same is here with you. If you lost some trust in yourself, the only way you're gonna regain that trust is showing yourself that for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 months, 6 months, you've taken actions in the right direction. So that outside in is gonna also help building that identity that is gonna lead to certain results, right? And the other part, the inside out, is basically doing not only the exercise, but the inner side. So that's where we look at what's going on inside. Where have we been self-sabotaging? What is the limiting beliefs we have? What is going on subconsciously? What am I doing automatically that I'm not even realizing I'm doing? What are the things that are on autopilot and are not leading me to where I want to go? Because if you've come to a place in life and you're not 100% and fully, happy about where you are at. Maybe you're proud of so many things in your life, and you should. You maybe achieved a lot of things. You're maybe a survivor on so many levels, but there's still something that tells you, oh, there is a next level, or I want to get that too. Or all these things are great, but my relationship is lacking. All these things are great, but my body is still like, my health needs this. Or everything is great and I'm proud of myself, but I wish my mind was calmer, quieter. I had less anxiety. If you know there is a next level, if you know there is something, then we need to go and see, what have you been doing? What have you been building up that kind of made you forget all your power and what you actually are capable of, right? So we need to go from the inside out. And once we remove those blocks, or once we go in and we speak about things and we remove the wall, and that is also supported by all those outside in actions, that is like a bicycle. It's gonna have these two beautiful wheels that go together based on who you are, and that again is gonna give you confidence in your abilities, because you're now knowing yourself on a level that if you think you're aware now, trust me, every time I think, oh, I'm very much more aware now than I was like 1 week ago, wow, that was mind-blowing, there's so much more to do. If you think you're present and mindful, which I hear a lot of people saying, oh yes, I'm definitely mindful, definitely present. When they join the program and we actually go into things, it seemed like a joke to them how present they were. And I'm not saying to brag or anything. I'm sure like a lot of people out there are doing great work, and I'm sure you might have reached that great level of being present and mindful, but also knowing there's always a next level for us, and staying humble, but wanting to give yourself that, because we deserve it, because our community deserves it. So the outside in, inside out formula is what I invite you to start applying. Not only looking for the quick fix, not only looking for the workout, the right diet. I know I can do it myself and keep myself accountable on these things, but really taking it like go deep and bringing everything in, which again doesn't mean that it needs to be overwhelming. That's why I'm like against overwhelm, meaning I know it happens, but this is something we work on. I know I can feel overwhelmed. I know my clients feel overwhelmed, but that is why we learn how to tackle it. And with this two-step formula, outside in, inside out, that is gonna really show you what is your personal success formula. What do you need to focus on to keep consistent showing up every single day? What do you need to build your confidence? At the end of the day, it's not the result. You're not gonna feel confident when you achieve the result. The goal here is that you feel confident every day because you're in the process. And this is why a lot of people might never reach the goal, or their goals might shift, or they might add new goals, or go in different directions at some point. Again, that's normal. We're human. That's what we do, right? But true confidence comes from trusting yourself, knowing how you work, your inside, and then go and take the right actions daily, and having a certain focus and attention daily, which might require that you work on yourself and on these things literally 5 minutes a day if you have the right tools. So I hope this gave you some food for thought. I hope this was a powerful lesson. Again, the inside out, outside in two-step formula is an invitation for you to reconsider how you've been approaching things. If you see yourself not having a holistic thing, or if you see that you tried a bunch of different stuff but nothing never really clicked or stick, or you don't really find the thing, what clicks, this might be the reason that you haven't been putting the two together, right? You haven't been having an approach that literally takes both an actual plan with workouts, with nutrition, with your sleep habits, with your literally daily routines, and whatever inner work we need to do. But once you combine both, that is gonna literally skyrocket your consistency. And why? Not only because you have the accountability, but also because you build the confidence. And the more you work on this, the more it's gonna stick. So this is not a work that is like 3 months and then you're a new person. This is why I have clients staying with me for like over years, not because they need it, but because they know it's a never-ending game, and this becomes fun, and there's so much more to learn and grow from.